Okay, so recently I have had some run-ins with my credit and had issues when we were trying to buy or build a bigger house. And I thought that my credit was exactly where it was supposed to be because we are getting a VA loan, so we needed a 620. And I pulled my credit on freecreditreport.com because you can go on that website, you put in your credit card information, they give you a 7-day free trial. So I pulled it up. And it was so not even close to where I thought it was going to be. I was expecting a 630-ish. We've had credit issues in the past. When my husband became disabled, we went from $4,000 to nothing literally overnight. So we went and pulled the credit on this freecreditreport.com. It came back a 573 for Experian, and I almost had a freaking heart attack. And I started looking through my credit report, and I found all these different collections accounts and like 30-day lates and things like that or whatever that were on there, as well as things that were hurting me that I didn't even know were hurting me. Now, I don't do this for a living. All I know is what I did and how it helped me. So let me give you a little bit of information. First thing that you have to do if you want to get some of these collections accounts is either pay them off, but you need to require that they delete the account. Here's the problem with getting a paid in full on an account. If it's an old account, say 12 plus, 24 plus months old, and you owed the money way back then and it hasn't been updated since then, but it's still hurting your credit because it's there, if you go and you pay it and then you get the paid in full, it's like rattling the bee's nest. It's going to come back up on your credit and be like a whole new bad hit. That's like one of the worst things you can do with an old collections account. You might as well have just left it alone. Secondly, like, don't ever admit the debt is yours. Just kind of say, yeah, well, I don't really believe that this is my debt, but I am willing to pay it as long as you will completely delete it off of my account. So it's called a pay for delete. Now, I did have a company that offered me a pay for delete, and then they told me that if I had to call back with the money, if I didn't have it right then to give them, that they were not going to accept it. Well, lo and behold, that's exactly what happened, and I called them back, and they told me that they were not going to do the pay for delete. So basically what I did was I called back a third time. I asked for a supervisor, and when I got the supervisor on the phone, the first thing that I said was, do you offer a pay for delete? Well, she says to me, well, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, I can pay you and you guys take it off my credit report. And she said, well, we could probably do that. Let me see your account information. What's your social? So I gave her my social security number. She pulled it up. Well, here's what happened. She says, oh, man, we already offered you that the ability to pay it in full and have it completely deleted off your account, but you refused to pay it at that exact time because you said that you didn't have the funds. So now we can offer you a paid in full settlement. And I said, no. I said, because I've done my research and I called the state attorney general, and according to the FDPCA guidelines, who is the person that, or the company that actually gives them their like license to be a collection agency or whatever, as far as I'm concerned, I said, and according to the FDPCA guidelines, you guys are in violation because you are not allowed to offer a pay for delete. I was like, that's completely out of the guidelines. You guys can get your collection agency license revoked. Boy, she could not take that thing off fast enough. So if you want to call some of these companies, because almost all of them will let you do this pay for delete thing, if you wanted to call them and just say, hi, I was wondering if you would do a pay for delete, and they say, yeah, sure, let me get your social security number, you just got them to admit that they're willing to commit something completely illegal because they are commission based. If you call them at the end of the month, they are way more eager to take your money and way more eager to settle and way more eager to give you whatever the heck you want so that they can make their quota, because all of these places have quotas. So make sure that you call them. Make sure that you get to them to say that they would give you a pay for delete without even giving them your account information. If they do give you the account information, ask if it's possible to have them take it off of your credit report if you agree to pay the entire thing in full. Obviously, at first, you want to try to get them to delete it for a settlement and maybe offer an amount that's 40 to 60% less than what you actually owe. But if that doesn't work out, then shoot, pay the whole thing in full. Yeah, it might cost you $1,000 or $1,800, but it's also going to gain you a ton of points on your credit report, and it's going to save you a lot of money when it comes to financing whatever it is that you want to get, a house, a car, blah, blah, blah. So I successfully got 4 out of 5 collections accounts removed off of my account in the last 4 days because of this, and I got 1 out of 1 removed off of my husband's.